Just for the record, I covered my first Masters in 1979, and I wound up covering 20 Masters. And I covered Tiger Woods from the start at the Masters. And I'll be the first to admit, I had my run-ins with Tiger and his inner circle. And I will also be the first to admit that over the last 5 or 6 years, I probably said 1,000 times he will never, ever again win another major championship. And that's why yesterday for me was so miraculous that it got to be surreal watching him walk up 18.
It was.
It was so surreal that after I tweeted several things, I had to tweet one more time that I have to tweet this just to make sure it's going in my head right. Tiger Woods just won the Masters. Mm-hmm. He did? I woke up this morning, I said, did I dream that? No, that actually happened. In all my years of covering sports, I have never seen an athlete fall so far as Tiger Woods did and rise all the way back to the very top, not just to the top, to the very top of his sports, and beat as loaded a leaderboard as I have ever seen in Masters history. 6 of the top 10 players in the world finished in the top 10 at the Masters. He beat all the best,
right,
head to head to head to head. And I'm going to remind everybody, it was just less than 2 years ago you and I had to sit here, and I felt forced to do it, and talk about that sad mugshot as he got arrested for his DUI in Jupiter, Florida, and he thought he was in Southern California. He didn't know where he was.
Right.
And it was just 2 years ago, he had his 4th back surgery, and it was, you know this, the dreaded spinal fusion.
Yes.
And people don't come back from spinal fusion, especially in this game. And even Tiger has said repeatedly, I thought I was done.
That's what hold up. Did he say that?
Yes.
So the man in the arena did not believe that this was possible.
He did not believe it until he saw it, till the final 1.5 putt went in. I'm not sure he even bought what was happening.
Exactly. Okay.
Right? He had knee surgery. He had a neck injury. He had an elbow injury. He had a terrible double Achilles injury to the point that his former coach, Hank Haney, said in the book that he wrote called The Big Miss,
right,
that he thought Tiger had just about golf fatally torn up his body trying to become a Navy SEAL. He went through SEAL drills with the Navy SEALs trying to do what his father had done and become a military man. So, not to mention, one of the all-time scandals that befell him, has any athlete ever been more humiliated off the field or off the course than Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
Back in, as you remember, 2009 and 2010. Mm-hmm. He wound up having to go to some clinic in Mississippi for sex addiction, and it was about as public as you could get, right? He was he lived in the tabloids for weeks and months. And yet, yesterday, I got to tell you that as much as I've closely followed Tiger, that guy yesterday was as completely changed a man as I have ever seen, because I couldn't recognize him yesterday, and I'm talking about for the better. I'm going to remind everybody, when he dominated golf the way nobody will ever dominate it again, and it was about from 2000 to 2002, that guy was this big, bad, profane golf bully who just intimidated fields and overpowered golf courses. And along the way, he just spewed profanity, and it outraged a lot of people who love golf and a lot of mothers at home of all colors who said, you just can't talk that way.
The microphone would pick it up.
It would pick it up. Yesterday, that guy won the Masters without making a single eagle in 4 days. That guy won the Masters finishing 44th of 65 players who made the cut in driving distance. Do you remember when they had to Tigerize Augusta because he hit it too far?
They Tiger-proofed it.
Okay, so they Tiger-proofed it, and he finished 44th yesterday in driving distance. I didn't hear a single curse word yesterday because he won with patience and discipline and maturity. He won by playing safe. And I don't want to get too golfy here today, but the turning point of yesterday's Masters was the 12th hole, as it often is. It's as dangerous a par 3 as there is in the world because you're hitting over water with a short iron with very tricky crosswinds that you can't see because the pine trees, and I've been there many times, they're so tall they reach up into the heavens. So you
nice Georgia pines.
It's Georgia pines. It's from your neck of the, so to speak, woods.
It is.
Okay? And you can't gauge the wind. So they had to play threesomes yesterday to beat the weather. So of the leaders going through there, 4 of them hit it in the water. Only Tiger Woods said, no, I'm not going to shoot at the pin. Molinari shot at the pin. Brooks Koepka aimed at the pin. You can't do it because the green falls away there, and if you catch the bank, it's going to roll back in the water. What did Tiger Woods do on 12? He just said, I'm going to play safe. Yeah. I'm going to hit it right over the bunker into the middle of the green and leave myself a 40-foot putt, and I'm going to 2-putt for a par. He won the Masters basically on number 12. But for me, the most amazing thing of all was at the end, the guy who used to be known as a surly loner within the rank and profile of golf, that guy became as beloved a figure as I think there is in all of sports right now, and you could see it from the former champions who gathered with their green jackets on to congratulate him. Trust me, back in the good old days, quote unquote, nobody would have congratulated him because they'd be gone because he was not a nice guy. And now he's become beloved by galleries. He's become beloved by all the other caddies. I've never seen anything like the outpouring of love for Tiger Woods, who completely won over the world by winning the Masters at age 43. And I am here to congratulate that man because what he overcame, very few have ever overcome.
Very. Skip, I agree with everything you just said. I thought he could win a regular tournament. Hell, Skip, we just saw him win Eastlake, the final of the FedEx Cup.
The Tour Championship.
Right.
Yep.
We saw that.
We saw it. It was September 23rd. Kind of got lost in the NFL shuffle, but go ahead.
But that's not a major.
Nope.
That's not the Masters.
Nope.
That's not the Open, the British, or the PGA. Did I think he could put together? And what you need to do in order to win one of those is put together 4 good rounds. And that's what he did. On Thursday, Skip, I remember calling my sister. I said, man, Tiger left 4 birdies on the course. I just hope it doesn't come back to bite him.
But at least he didn't play his way out.
There you go.
2 under 70.
We've seen Tiger shoot 67, follow it up with 75, 76. We've seen Tiger go into, he's down 8 strokes, and then have a blistering final round. But because he left himself so much distance, he's like, oh, man, Tiger played well. If he'd have just played better those other 3 days. Skip, nothing said Tiger should have won this tournament. Nothing. You mentioned he was tied for 44th in driving distance. He was 44th in driving distance. He was tied for 47th in driving accuracy. He was 48th in putting. Nothing about that says you should win this tournament.
Except one stat.
He was number 1 in greens and regulation.
That'll work. That'll work.
I watched this press conference, and I heard it. I listened, turned the sound on, because I wanted to hear.
You watched with sound on? That's an upset.
Because, Skip, I wanted to hear what he had to say. He said 2 years ago he had this surgery. He said he didn't know. He said, I knew I was going to be around the game of golf, but I didn't know I was going to be a participant in the game of golf. I was just hoping I would be able to play golf with my son, Charlie. The man that's in the arena had doubts whether or not he can play. The last thing on his mind was ever winning another major. He says, I just want to be able to take my kids to school, take them to soccer practice, because I couldn't do that because my back hurt so bad. So he goes from that. You mentioned the mug shot. That was, May would be 2 years from that. We forget about that, Skip, because the scandal in 2009 was so great. There are not very many people, Skip, could have their life autopsied because it had it opened up.
I agree.
And everybody got an opportunity. Let that sink in for just a second. The secrets that you would never, ever want to be revealed doesn't get to play out for maybe a family member or some close friends, but for the world when you're that guy. Very few people can ever walk what he walked. Michael Jordan knows what it's like to be Tiger Woods. Probably LeBron James.
He does.
Or Cristiano Ronaldo.
I would agree.
Knows what it's like to be that. And to have everything just for everybody to ridicule and to make jokes. Skip, they had the jokes going for months and years. For him to do this, Skip, I didn't see it. I didn't see this coming. Everybody, I knew it was coming. Skip, the man hadn't won a major tournament since 2008. He hadn't won this tournament since 2005.
14 years?
And I'm supposed to believe.
14
His
years?
kids weren't born.
That's
the last time he
impossible.
won a
And they said, well, you saw him last year at the British Open? Yeah. And I saw his nerves get the better of him.
I did too.
But you know what? For the first time in a long time, Tiger proud, and some people started to feel it.
Think so?
They started to come back to him, Skip. He said Francisco Molinari opened the door at 12 when he hit it in the drink. But you also saw guys, Skip, all of a sudden you saw, I think I'm pronouncing it, Cantlay. He drops a ball, eagle. And then boom, he's in the leaderboard. And Shuffle, boom, he's in the leaderboard. And then DJ, boom, I'm like, come on. These guys are going crazy. Because Saturday, Skip, they dropping 64s and 66s. And I'm like, oh, my.
It was the all-time shootout day.
Yes.
Saturday. Saturday was a birdie eagle day. Sunday was a par day. Par making.
And these are not just some guys. These guys got major tournament victories on their resume. So they know this moment. They know what it's like to be in this moment. And Tiger was just so methodical. And I remember him, Skip, he got the lead, and he had 2 holes to go. I'm like, Tiger, break your driver. Take out a 3-wood rescue medal. Hey, par, let's go home and get this thing done. Because I remember, Skip, you remember, I don't remember what, maybe it was his fourth, or maybe it was his third or fourth one, where he had a 2-shot lead over Chris DeMarco. With 2 holes to play, and he goes bogey, and you have to go to a playoff.
Listen, 17 and 18 have haunted him his whole career at Augusta. And then it was Chris DeMarco in a play. You can handle Chris DeMarco. And so he birdies the first playoff hole and so forth.
And so that's what I'm like, Tiger, just go ahead and do it. Because I remember, you remember in 99, Christian Valdivale. He has a 3-shot lead. All he has to do is double bogey, he's the champ. I said, Tiger, don't do this one. And I was like, and when he hit the shot on 18, Skip, I had no idea why he was playing it the way he was playing it.
Off the tee?
Yes.
Listen, if you can't see it on TV, but it looks like it's about a 3-foot opening to hit it between the trees on 18. It is scary, especially if you got a 1 or 2 shot lead where you know if you clip a branch, you are done.
Not only must you maintain mental focus, but he's also watching the leaderboard. And he says he saw Kafka, I think it was Kafka, that birdied, that parred the hole. So he says now, I can go bogey and win this hole. I don't need to be flawless.